Live from clickorlando.com, this is News 6. This is a News 6 Plus takeover. Here now is Matt Austin and Ginger Gadsden with Florida's Fourth Estate.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Florida's Fourth Estate. So glad to have you with us this week. It's been another crazy week with the headlines. Before we talk to a copyright expert about the fact that it's been 95 years since a certain weird-looking Mickey was created, and now people will maybe get to use the image. We're going to talk to somebody who knows a lot more about this stuff than us, but before we get to that, my name's Matt Austin. Ginger, we got some headlines for the folks.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. I'm Ginger Gadsden. You make it sound like Mickey doesn't look weird right now, but he was a strange little animal.
I wasn't going to shame him now.
Don't body shame
95 years ago,
yeah,
he looked weird.
Exactly. We'll get to that in just a moment, but first we've had some crazy headlines. Remember that big 5,000-mile seaweed blob that was headed for Florida, Matt?
What?
I know. I
forgot all about
breaking
that.
News.
Impending doom.
Well, the good news is it's still heading here, but it's bringing a friend. And it's nothing, I mean, you kind of have to laugh because it's like, what else is going to happen with this thing? We're talking about the sargassum thing, right? It's heading for Florida. Some of it started to arrive at our beaches already. It's that big blob. But the friend that is hitched a ride with it is the flesh-eating bacteria. And it's being caused by a bunch of garbage and it sounds so delightful, doesn't it? All the plastics that's embedded in this blob. This really sounds like something that a science fiction writer made up, but it is on our shores. And I don't know if you are familiar with flesh-eating bacteria, but if we've done stories on this before, and it is not good news. This thing is dangerous. People have lost limbs. They have lost their lives. So it's nothing that we should take lightly. We don't have any cases reported from this blob right as of this recording, and I hope it stays that way. But my goodness, what else? What else?
Yeah, I want to be careful. Nobody has caught flesh-eating bacteria from this. We haven't had any arms melting off or anything, but we have had scientists who, like Ginger said, studied this stuff, and apparently it's a good little petri dish for that flesh-eating bacteria, which we know. I've heard of people paddleboarding and they fall into like a reef or maybe some
brackish water,
barnacles or something. And it scratches them, and the next thing you know, they've got this crazy virus. So I like what you were saying. He has a friend who's hitchhiking, and that friend is riding dirty.
Very dirty.
Riding very dirty. So it doesn't just stink. It doesn't just ruin your day at the beach. Can I say a positive though? We did have scientists come out, and they were talking about the places over by the beach who got hit hard by hurricanes, and we had like cliffs over there and homes dangling. Well, they say some of the beach renourishment will be helped by all of this sargassum out there. See?
And you come in with the positive stuff.
Look at that. Usually I'm the negative Nelly.
Correct.
Today you get to be. Today I'm positive Matsy. All right. Let's talk about another crazy. We had some wild video this week coming in from Kissimmee. Some folks are driving down the road. Next thing you know, these cows start toppling out on the highway here. This is 192 in Kissimmee, Earlo Bronson Expressway there. And these cows just start toppling out onto the highway. There's 6 of them. They all get loose. Next thing you know, they're running. It's like Frogger as they run through traffic, or cower, whatever you want to call it. And so here's the interesting part, okay? I don't know where these cows were going. I don't know if they were going to be made into ground beef or what.
Wow.
But
there's negative Matt.
There he is. He's back. One of them's still out there. We have not gotten an update that said that 6th cow was captured. So fight the good fight, my man. Get out there, try to blend in, get yourself a trench coat and a hat, and see how well you can avoid.
I feel like if he evades capture for much longer, then he should just be put in a sanctuary and allowed to live his life out as a cow should.
Be like a pardoned turkey or something like that.
And the strange thing about this is that is not the first time we've had cows on the freeway in that particular area in Kissimmee. It was like last year, there were like 30 or 40 of them. A guy's trailer caught on fire, and he did the right thing. He just let them out so the cows didn't, they weren't harmed. And as of last report, none of the cows that escaped from this last time, they didn't get hurt. And if you know how the people drive here in Florida, that's a miracle unto itself.
Absolutely.
But apparently Kissimmee has more cows, or Osceola County is home to like a cow boom town. There are some 500,000 cows that are in Osceola County.
Are there really?
Yes, I had no idea. So
I knew it was pretty rural. I knew
Yeah.
there were some farms down there, but I
It's a
didn't know
real
half
cow
a
town.
million.
It's a cow
Wow.
town now.
And until the cows come home, right?
Wow.
Is that what we're waiting for?
Let's not have any more cliches.
And moving along.
on.
Let's not milk this, Ginger.
Move along, please. Jeez.
Wow, we fit a lot in there
We're
real quick.
terrible, and we shouldn't have. Okay, now this next story is really nightmarish. You know, Carnival Cruise Lines are based in Miami, Florida. This particular ship, the Sunshine, sailed from Charleston, South Carolina, and they went to, the Bahamas, Bermuda, that area. Not a very long cruise at all. But when they were on the way back, some crazy storm hit them, and passengers said they had no idea. They said the captain came on and said, "Oh, we're going to hit some rough weather, but nothing to worry about." Well, guess what? They should have worried. They had 4 decks flood. And if you know anything about how much water that would take to flood 4 decks of a cruise ship, they hit some kind of rogue storm, crazy storm. And one passenger says that he saw some piece of equipment that measures wind speed and caught a wind gust of 79 miles per hour out at sea. I don't know about you, but if you're on a ship and that giant ship that holds thousands of people, if you are there rocking and rolling like that for hours, passengers said they couldn't get any information for about 12 hours or so. And they finally, I think they called it a day. They came in a couple of days early and went back to Charleston. But I can't even imagine the seasickness that took place on that. And, the people who are terrified, especially lack of information is the worst thing you can do to people in a situation like that. If you tell us what's going on, we could probably deal with it as opposed to keeping us in the dark.
That is an insane PR disaster for Carnival. I will say, hey, let me bring in a little good news here. All right?
Wow. Twice now. Who
This is-
are you?
This is going to be it for the year. Okay. But according to the cruise ships and Port Canaveral, the market for cruising has come back. It is official. I mean, we knew that people were excited to get back out, but there was still some hesitation. There were so many bad headlines for a moment when COVID started. Do you remember that? The cruise ships just parked out. No countries wanting to take these people because they were sick.
Lost at sea.
Lost at sea. That you're hearing toilets backing up. And I said, I will never go on a cruise again. People have such short memories. We have.
Thank goodness, though.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
goodness.
I'll pay.
It's like, sign me up.
Sign me up for $8,000 to be stuck at sea like cattle. I would be like one of those cows trying to jump off, and get out of that thing.
Please don't. No, but thank goodness they made it back to port safely. But they have some explaining to do. And those poor passengers, I don't know if you want a credit for that cruise or if you want.
I hate when they do that. No, I hate when they're like, "Hey, you can come do another cruise with us after your
We'll get it right
miserable
this
experience. We promise. Yeah, we'll take care of you next time. Give me a break. Give me my money back." That's ridiculous. If I've got water coming in through my
gosh.
cabin,
Yeah, that's not good news.
you need to pay me back. We're talking about getting money back. Well, you know who loves getting that money? Walt Disney World. And if you ever try to use the image of one of Walt Disney's characters, you're in so much trouble. You are going to deal with hellfire that is going to rain down on you like never before. Well, it turns out the first Mickey, what was his name? Steamboat
Willie.
Willie? His image is up for grabs in copyright because it's been 95 years as of next year.
What does that mean?
What's going to happen? Can you go out and sell T-shirts on the side of the road at Disney? I wouldn't do it. It's a very complicated issue, so we bring in an expert. We're talking to him from California right after the break.